66 million Americans are bracing for impact. Hurricane Sandy lumbering up the East Coast and threatening to come ashore as an unprecedented superstorm. It means epic wind, snow, flooding rain from Florida to the Carolinas, Maryland to Maine. And the storm is so wide it could cover 2/3 of the United States. The fierce winds at the center cover an area almost the size of Texas. Our extreme weather team is in the storm zone tonight, and ABC's weather editor Sam Champion starts us off right now from Miami. Sam.
And good evening, Diane. Tonight, Sandy's running parallel to the Florida coastline, but creating a stir in places really far north from here, like Washington, D.C. States like New York, Virginia, Maryland have all declared a state of emergency ahead of this storm. Even the U.S. Navy is taking this storm seriously, pulling 21 ships out of the harbor in Norfolk, feeling like they'll be safer out in the open water than they will be bouncing around in port when this storm comes on shore. So where is this storm going? Let's show you the latest from the Hurricane Center. And you'll see in the track that it's still expected to run up the coastline, going out a little bit, then coming back in and making a sharp left turn on Monday toward the shoreline. Spaghetti models indicate we don't exactly know where this storm will make landfall yet. We'll pinpoint it as we get closer to this storm, but wherever this storm is going, it's going to make even more headlines.
Sandy's already killed at least 30 people in its march across the Caribbean. Seen from space, this storm is monster-sized. Clouds stretch 2,000 miles. Tropical storm force winds extend more than 500 miles. And it will likely get worse before it's over. As Sandy marches up the East Coast, it will collide with an Arctic front coming in from the west, pumping in new energy. Inject the 150-mile-an-hour plus winds of the jet stream, and forecasters think it explodes into a superstorm, spinning off hurricane-force wind gusts, up to a foot of rain, possibly record-surging tides, and even inland snow as far as Ohio. Extreme conditions could start Sunday, peak on Tuesday, and could last for days.
When you factor in the unusual track that it's going to be taking, that is coming in from the east across the Jersey coast, it's a once-in-a-lifetime storm.
It's like combining the destructive power of Hurricane Irene, which did $14 billion in damage last year, with the punishing nor'easter of 2009 that brought catastrophic flooding. And then add in a freezing cold winter temperature all in one storm.
This storm is going to be destructive, historic, and unfortunately life-threatening.
Another fear, the extreme coastal surge that's expected, anywhere from 4 to 10 feet. Areas like Washington, D.C. are already vulnerable to flooding, and because of the full moon Monday, which means higher than normal tides, places like Atlantic City could see a swamping 10-foot storm surge. That's also possible for New Jersey and New York, where evacuation orders may be enforced in coastal areas. Even New York City subways are at risk of flooding. Mayor Bloomberg says they may be closed as Sandy approaches. For more on the damage Sandy's already doing, we go up the Florida coast to my extreme weather team colleague, Ginger Z. Ginger?
Sam, Cocoa Beach is known as one of the widest beaches in the state of Florida, but not tonight. It has been cut in almost half thanks to the pounding 10-foot breakers that have been coming in. They've had 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, this all from a storm that's still 200 miles away. So if Sandy hasn't impressed you enough with that power, check out these hurricane facts. The average hurricane has enough energy to power the world 200 times over. And during its life cycle, it can unleash and release the same amount of energy as 10,000 nuclear bombs. This is only part of the fuel for that fire that could become the superstorm. It will interact with another trough from the northwest, this blocking system in Greenland, and inject itself from the mid-Atlantic to coastal New England. That's the area we're most concerned about, the area we find our Lindsay Davis in Seabright, New Jersey.
That's right, Ginger. Along the Jersey Shore, emergency management officials are banking on sand dunes like this that they just moved into place today as the front lines of defense. Up and down the East Coast, utility companies are out in full force preparing for potentially extensive power outages. States are calling in hundreds of extra workers. There's even concern about entire cities losing power. As for residents, they're getting ready in case they have to spend several days or even weeks in the dark, stocking up on essentials like flashlights and generators, which many stores sold out for in a matter of hours today. Some of the prices that normally would go for about $400, we saw them online for sale for $1,400. But generators are not the big concern in coastal areas like this. The big concern here is storm surge. Voluntary evacuations are already taking place in areas not far from here. Diane.
All right, Lindsay, thank you so much. And our thanks to Ginger as well and Sam Champion. And Sam will be leading our extreme weather team as it tracks this storm 24 hours a day all weekend.